This is the new Galaxy S24 FE. It's Samsung's latest, most affordable option in the S24 series of phones. But is it actually good? How does it differ when compared with the Galaxy S24 Plus, which looks so similar to the FE? In today's video, we're gonna take a look at what it has to offer and also do a little bit of comparison too. Do remember to subscribe because that will really help us out a lot, and I literally spent the whole weekend just testing these devices to know more about it. And now let's start off with the design. It's using the same design language as before, and the S24 FE is actually using a glossy glass back. I honestly would have preferred a matte back, but I am going to slap a case on the phone anyway, so this doesn't matter much. Our particular unit here comes in the blue color, and the other unit here is in the mint color. I actually like these two colors more than anything else in the lineup. The frame of the S24 FE is made out of standard aluminium, not armor aluminium or anything special like that. As far as durability is concerned, I think there is nothing to actually worry about because I don't see any Samsung phones bending. So yeah, except for the Z Fold and Z Flip, of course. I still like the rounded corners as well, since it doesn't poke into my palm when I grab it with my hands. As for the screen, this phone is using a 6.7-inch Dynamic AMOLED 2X panel that still goes up to 120Hz refresh rate, but the resolution is at 2340 by 1080 pixels, which is the same as the S23 Plus and the S23 FE. However, I believe that this is not the exact same panel as the previous one. Here's what I mean. The maximum brightness of the S24 FE is at 1220 nits, somewhere around there, which is definitely brighter than before. But the color accuracy though, this is an interesting one. We are testing the S24 FE with the vividness slider at level 3 so that it can have the largest color gamut coverage ever. And our test shows that the FE covers around 100% of sRGB, but only at around 96.73% of DCI-P3. Remember, the color vividness at level 3 should be around nearly 100% for DCI-P3 coverage. It just means that the FE's vividness isn't as strong as the S24 Plus, for example. Does this actually matter to you though? Well, this kinda depends on your own eyes to judge. For me, I ended up using my phones with vividness level 2. So that is actually around 96% of DCI-P3 color gamut coverage as well. So this for me is okay. That said, I really don't like how the under-display fingerprint scanner is positioned. Why does the FE have the physical scanner placed so low? It is just not that comfortable to use. Let's now also talk about the performance. Of course, this is a big controversial point as the S24 FE is using the Exynos 2400E worldwide, even in the US. And honestly speaking, it's not an issue at all. There is a mild 100 MHz underclock for the Cortex X4 core when compared with the original Exynos 2400, but that's about it. Everything else remains the same, so yeah. As shown time and time again, the Exynos 2400 holds up very well even 9 months after its launch. And the Exynos 2400E performs identically as well. And it is actually very similar to the 8th Gen 3 when both of them thermal throttle. This is most notable in Genshin Impact as we got around 38 FPS for most of the time. COD Warzone ran surprisingly well and we didn't have any issues at all. COD Mobile ran at the native render resolution and is also able to maintain at 120 FPS throughout the entire gameplay. Overall, this is an amazing phone if you want to play games on it. There are some bugs here and there, like Zenless Zone Zero absolutely not launching at all, but I think that is due to the Exynos 2400E being treated as a quote-unquote new chipset when compared to the original Exynos 2400, because I have no issues playing that game on the S24 Plus. Now, how about the battery life then? Well, it is using a 4700 mAh battery and it lasts for about 13 hours in our standardized battery life test. It's in line with the battery consumption of the S24 Plus, which is no surprise since they are essentially the same chip anyway. The S2400 is also more efficient than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, link in the description to see all of that data, because months after that, that data still holds true. The charging speed though of the S24 FE is the same as any other FEs that came before this. We are only getting 25 watts maximum, and it can get from 15% to completion in about 63 minutes, which is not too far off from other phones with 45 watts of fast charging from Samsung. So yeah. Now let's talk about the software then. The S24 FE comes with One UI 6.1.1 out of the box, and the software works just like any other Samsung devices. We have the full-fledged Samsung Wallet, the entire Edge panel, now with the new selector tool to take screenshots, the access to moods and routines, alongside with the entire slew of advanced customization options via Good Lock. All of the ecosystem features are here as well, alongside with all of the AI features, and this is just the complete One UI experience, and everything is present on the FE as well. Plus, the FE will also be getting 7 generations of Android OS upgrades and 7 years of security patches. As mentioned in our S24 FE preview video, I do believe that the upgrade to Android 15 is counted as 1 generation of Android OS upgrades. The security patches start counting from the calendar day of the launch of the FE, so we should be getting security patches up until October of 2031. Yeah, that's a very long time. As for the cameras though, this is something that I don't really have much time to test out, and I can tell you that the camera sensors remain the same for the past year, and also the previous one, and also the previous one. Anyway, we have a total of 3 cameras here, and both the main and telephoto cameras have OIS, and that is actually great. By just looking at the few pictures that I've took, I do think that the cameras are decent. The colors, details, and processing just make the pictures look good. The telephoto camera is decent, but it does struggle when we're taking night shots, so you have to keep that in mind. The ultra-wide angle camera is also pretty decent overall. One thing that I have to point out is the color consistency between all of the 3 cameras. They are practically identical, and just by having those consistency there, I am practically very impressed. And a few more things to mention, the Galaxy S24 FE is using a USB 3 port at the bottom of the phone, and transferring files in and out of the phone is just extremely fast. It also supports Samsung DeX, just like any other Galaxy S series of phones. It also has dual SIM card support and is rated for IP68 as well. Okay, so should you buy the S24 FE? Honestly, I'd say that this is actually not that far off when we are putting it beside the S24 Plus. Sure, there are some immediately apparent differences, like it is not as thin and the screen bezels are just way thicker than the Plus. But other than that, it's mostly the same thing. At the price of 3,299 ringgit Malaysia or 710 US dollars for the 256 gigs version, never buy 128 gigs versions of phones nowadays, I think that this phone is indeed a tad bit more expensive. So I suggest you to either take advantage of the trade-in program or just get it at a discount. The alternative to the S24 FE though is gonna be the Xiaomi 14T Pro that we have reviewed recently. It is lower in price, but there is no OIS for the telephoto camera, and the software is also not as good as One UI, and it is filled with ads. I have to praise the Xiaomi 14T Pro for using the Dimensity 9300 Plus chipset in that phone. That Dimensity chip is just fantastic, and it is even better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. The Dimensity 9300 Plus is so good to the point that Samsung also used that chip in the Galaxy Tab S10 series. We will be talking about that tablet in our next video, so do subscribe so you don't miss out on that. We'll see you guys in the next video, and do let me know, will you buy the S24 FE? Why and why not? I'd like to know all of your comments. I know you guys have very colorful comments, so yeah, I will read that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.